At the same time, it was Wolves versus Watford.
Yeah.
Now, Watford, I know what I thought. Right? When they win a game in 7 matches, and to really be honest now, even though it's the beginning of the season, still the 7 games gone, I think it can be real hard for Watford to come back from this one because let me tell you, teams in Premier League nowadays are making a sport right now. Teams fighting the life come on the start of here. And we know something about Newcastle. For about 3 seasons straight, Newcastle went down in the bottom and fight the way out of relegation. Right? Newcastle good at doing this.
Crystal Palace too. Crystal Palace.
Right. Yeah.
Crystal Palace is one of those teams that has been doing that for a couple of seasons
right.
now.
And for Watford to come back, right now the men minus 16 goals. Like you know, it's 5 losses and 2 draws.
Well, to me,
that is rough.
I think that a major part of was missing at Watford is Troy Deeney, the captain. I think Watford is a team that is known for its fighting spirit, and if you know Troy Deeney, you know he has a fighting spirit. That kind of aggressiveness is missing because he's not there. I'm really disappointed in De La Foe. You know, considering that you're someone who would have played at Barcelona, I think it's kind of disappointing that he isn't fighting the back of the net. Danny Welbeck had his first start in the Premier League game for about 2 seasons. And the thing is that Danny Welbeck was one of those promising young English strikers that did not pan out to meet the expectations.
But
that
Danny Welbeck knew a high level of martial arts, which is hurtful. And he always hurt, man. Yeah. Welbeck always hurt.
Yeah. I think maybe Welbeck should have gone the way of Sturridge and moved to MLS. I mean, I'm not knocking his talent. I think that he's one that has potential, but his ability to be injured, he has an extremely amazing ability to become injured. Yeah, and maybe a slower pace of football might suit him. But watching that game though, I felt bad for Yanmat because you know you're already down. You last week you got beat 8-0. You come out there now and you're fighting to bring back the game, and you score on goal. And the thing is like when he headed that ball into the goal, you know the look on his face was like was pitiful. Heartbroken.
Watford, we can see what you can do for the rest of the season. That's all we can see. I thought to me, if they do come out of it, I know you can.
And teams have. I mean, Crystal Palace has been in this position before, and they scrape those 38 points to come through. So it's not to say that 7 games in, this is a death kill. Things can be turned around. You just have to see how the other teams that are above you also play, because a team can hit a run of poor form and fall into that relegation zone as well. And so the only thing that Watford has against it is a terrible goal difference. And at the end of the day, that goal difference might sink them. I wouldn't want to mention who, put their goal difference in that kind of shape. I mean, City did that. I think it would be kind of boastful of me to say that City put 8 in Watford. And I mean, I think all of us already know that City put 8 in Watford. So I'm not going to go over the fact that City put 8 in Watford. I think it's pretty established right now.
We moving on, right?
Actually, you know what I read
today? The man fancy that the check 8 in a soft league, so I don't understand it.
Today I read that the largest win in the Premier League for this season was when City put 8 in Watford, and the largest loss for this season so far was when City put 8 in Watford. So, but that goes without saying that City put 8 in Watford.
The last game on that day, it was Everton versus Man City. Now to me, City win a good game. Because City wasn't in form yesterday, right? They still come up with a win. Yeah. And Everton is sick now. Everton let these men know you don't know about the Man City, but we come out to win too, right? And I was going to give it to City condition because City came out with the win, 3-1. I tell myself if the most I would see win here was 2-1, because to me City wasn't really in the form.
My thing is that you can't discount Sterling, because even though he had absolute chances, if he had a one-on-one with Pickford and wasted it, the fact was that they kept trying. And the thing about City is that City keeps trying.
Yeah.
City has 1 goal, they keep trying for 2. They have 2, they try for 3. They have 3, they try for 4. They keep that applying that pressure. And for my one part, as long as Sterling was on the pitch, he was going to score a goal because he kept trying. He kept trying to get into those spaces. I thought that the assist that Kevin De Bruyne had for Gabriel Jesus was out of this world. If Jesus had missed that, he should retire from football one time. Because it was put right there for him to head it in. And it was a beautiful goal. I mean, people talk about assists. But I don't think we understand assist. An assist goes to whoever kicks the ball before the person puts it in the back of the net. Kevin De Bruyne puts the ball where you have no other option but to put it in the back of the net. And where the ball flies and goes is where he wants it to go because he knows that you are there.
Because Kevin De Bruyne is
often we see people just run on the flank or get to the flank and make these crosses into the box. And they get assists for that. Kevin De Bruyne doesn't put a random cross into the box. He puts a cross, he actually intends to assist. And I know that people are going to say that they only created this assist award for the Premier League for Kevin De Bruyne because they wanted to give him something. But I really think he earns that title of assist king. He is probably the best provider of assists I've ever come across.
Not to me. To me, he got to get number 2 than Messi. Because to me, he's not a better passer than Messi. Messi.
At least at the Premier League, as I've ever seen.
I would say Premier League, right? But one thing that's about Kevin De Bruyne, right? For me, right now, right? I would go and say Kevin De Bruyne is the best midfielder in the whole Premier League right now.
Yeah.
He would brighten up any team in Premier League.
And it also seemed like if the game plan for Everton was to get down Kevin De Bruyne.
Yeah, because I like how Man City man the other day, right? I tell the man for me, right, it's like Pep say, you know what? This man can pass to God. You know what God do? I feel like I can build my midfield around this man. Right? Mm-hmm. Let him be the main engine in my midfield because David Silva looking to leave, he going down. Because David Silva was that man.
Yeah.
Right? And he thinks himself, you know what? Let me try this with Kevin De Bruyne. And to me it working out brilliantly because when Kevin De Bruyne is in that ball, you guaranteed it going into the era that you are in. For sure. It was like if the game plan for Everton was basically to get on Kevin De Bruyne. The 2 yellow cards that the Everton players got, Yaramina and Snedeline, they both got yellow cards for bringing down Kevin De Bruyne. So it's like teams are recognizing that the threat at City is Kevin. So to neutralize that threat, chop him down. And the only game on Sunday was Leicester City versus Newcastle. Now this would have been billed as, a good game, maybe an equal pairing. But that did not occur. Leicester completely washed off Newcastle. I think, and the thing is that Newcastle went up to 10 men because Isaac Hayden had a straight red. But good Lord, Leicester under Brendan Rodgers, Leicester has had a revolution. I think even just to say that under Brendan Rodgers, Jamie Vardy has had a revolution. I think the form that Leicester is in right now, I think Leicester's in third. Yeah, in third place. Imagine that Leicester's in third place in the Premier League. It's still pretty early, It's still pretty early, yes. You will see. But when you consider that Tottenham is in 5th, Chelsea is in 6th, Arsenal is in 8th, and Man United is, somewhere down there. Inconsequential at this point. But Leicester is in 3rd. Yeah. So I mean, even though they're only 7 games in, I think is a really good showing. And the stats would show that the season that Leicester won the league, they had less points after 7 games than they do right now. And I'm not saying that Leicester's going to win the league. Of course, City is. But I think Leicester is doing really well right now. Yeah, see, Isaac hit him with a poor tackle, which resulted in him getting a straight red. To me, that's a straight red because he was doing foolishness for sure. Right, Jimmy Vardy came with 2 goals, and like the guy that scored the last goal for NDD, to me he playing very well. My only disappointment with NDD scoring that goal is that I had taken him out of my fantasy football lineup for this week, and I'm really annoyed that he scored when I did not have him in. But yeah, I mean he's known to do that. The guy that scored the first goal, Carl Pereira, isn't even an attacker. That was a beautiful goal. He went through, he cut through the midfield and scored, and he's a defender. Yeah, but that was not a defender's goal. That was an attacker's goal. Yeah. Right, but we will see how Newcastle, because you know, in the beginning of the season, when we were giving the prediction, we had Newcastle to be one of the teams to get relegated because of the issues behind Newcastle. Right now, they are sitting in, I think, 19th place, right? And they can still be relegated, but Newcastle is one of those teams that, when you least expect it, you'll see these guys in like 14th position, well out of the range of being relegated.